It's the beginning of a new era, a new age, a new time, a new duration. I'm out of words. I can't think of any more words to mean periods of time. Did I say era? It's a new era. Did I say era already? I did. Okay. It's about time that I start this new project. I've been thinking about doing something like this for a while, and I never really could figure out what format or how to go about it. Uh, at this point, I'm just like, let me just start doing it, and I'll figure that out along the way. So this is my vlog slash podcast slash me trying to figure out what this is. Right now, I'm in the stage where I have the equipment, I have it set up, I have something to record with, and I'm still lacking a focus as far as what to talk about, what type of topic I should be talking about during these videos and audio if this ends up being a podcast. And I'm kind of looking into myself. I'm looking into myself to try and find out what things that interest me the most are going to be the things that I can talk about both passionately and with a level of understanding and knowledge that it sounds informational. And so I'm still trying to figure all that out. But we're closer. We've at least begun the process. So I think to begin, these videos are going to be sort of a vlog, um, just letting you know where I'm at in life so that as I talk about these different interests of mine, you have a better understanding of why I'm interested in them. So welcome to, did I already say welcome? I did. Um, Another thing that I'm not sure of right yet is if I'm going to go by the pseudonym Skiz the Gaffer, which is my artist name. I do music. If you haven't already listened to it, you should go check it out. I don't know if I want to be Skiz the Gaffer, spelled like so, or if I just want to go by my name, TJ. I'm trying to decide. Because Skiz is a brand that mainly started because of music, but it's so much more than that, and it can be so much more. So now we're at the point of this video where I dive into my interests. I have a diverse amount of interests, and it ranges from psychology to photography to smart home technology to technology in general. So many things. Recently, I've been listening to podcasts and doing some research on the Myers Briggs personality typology. Um, it's fascinating to me to be able to learn some of these different ways that people are predisposed. No, it is fascinating to me that there are different ways that people are predisposed to think and process information. And so I've been researching that for a little while. Um, I even thought about using that as a topic for these videos. At this point, I don't feel knowledgeable enough, but I could talk about them from a beginner standpoint. And the other thing is, there's a lot of content out there already in regards to the Myers-Briggs typology. So I'm not sure if that's too competitive of a interest area for me to even really feel like I'm talking to anyone. It's not that the goal here is to get viewers, but it really does help when you feel like you are talking to someone on the other side of the camera and that people will actually watch what you're making. Um, so that's one interest that I've been thinking a lot about. Another interest would be photography, in which I'd probably have to be practicing photography more, talking about different lighting setups, talking about different lenses and cameras and all of that. The caveat with that topic is that my camera gear is a little outdated. I've got lighting gear, but the cameras that I'm using, they're kind of old. They still work. They're DSLRs. They can make great photographs and video, but I'm feeling limited. So that could be an area of interest that I dive into. You can also check out on my personal YouTube channel different videos that I've done as far as lighting tutorials for photography and video. Another interest that comes to mind is randomness and absurdity and imagination. And these are all things that you wouldn't necessarily think to find content about, but I think it's possible. I think if I sat here and talked about any random thought that sparked my mind and sparked my interest, it could be entertaining. It could be the fact that my voice and the tone that I use is calming even when talking about absurd things. For example, what if there were no examples in the world? What if everything had to be called what it is? What if this is a bad example? And that's why there are examples. So you can tell the difference between what is a good example of something and what's a bad example. That lets you know, it gives you kind of a metric to measure by. But here's this. Here's a different example. What if I started talking about the idea that there are superhumans already among us, hiding, and they use a very classified social network, much like our social media, to network with each other and talk about superhuman stuff. And one of these superhumans in particular has a real big fascination with cheese, and the process of making cheese. So he uses his powers to go to dairy farms, to visit places that make cheese. He loves taste testing. He's interested in the level of sweetness in a cheese. And this is just all absurd talking that I'm doing right now, but it somehow has a little bit of a catch to it, I think. So I could talk in that way, where I'm just bringing up topics, maybe based on true current events or pop culture, but just giving my own spin on it. Maybe this is diving into my own madness. Maybe we talk about madness itself, mental health disorders. Talk about how to get to a place of mental wellness. It's another topic that's very interesting to me, is learning about these different areas of depreciation or problems within our minds and our psyches that cause us to speak and behave differently from other people, and the fact that society as a whole cannot take that difference lightly, that it's stigmatized and people are demonized for having mental illnesses. And I think that's wrong. I think that's very wrong. So maybe I could dive into the truth behind madness, give my own views on what mental illness is from my perspective, and talk about how to move forward in a society that accepts people for being human and doesn't try to squeeze us into boxes. I think that's good. So these are some different areas of interest. I've got many more interests. I'm the type of person that likes to research random things, look up just little oddities about the world, and find more information. I'm a very thought invested person. Do a lot of thinking. I could talk about parakeets, because as you see behind me, there's a parakeet in that cage. His name's Smiley, and he's got a little yellow face. That's why we call him Smiley. Smiley face. Smiley Cyrus, and he is just one of the joys in my life. Um, which that brings up another topic that I could talk about, which is just my life in general, what it's like to be me, what it's like to go through life on a day-to-day basis, the major moments in life that have impacted who I am, my perspectives on world views, my perspective on my own worldview, things that happen to me in life, things that don't happen to me in life, things that I've wanted and haven't become successful in, things that I still try to reach, goals that I'm attempting to reach, dreams, the things I imagine, the truths that I know. If you think you'd like to learn more about me and what's behind this madness, as I call it, what's behind this person that you see on the screen, this voice that you hear, and let me know in the comments. Just tell me what it is that you would be interested in seeing me interested about, if that makes sense grammatically. I don't know if it does. But one thing for sure is that there's nothing that's for sure. That was dumb. But it's true, because there's a level to there's a level of uncertainty to everything. And you can't just take everything for face value, because things are not always what they appear. Is that the Transformers tagline? Robots in disguise? I don't remember. Let's switch to a different character. Batman. Batman. We could talk about different heroes. We could talk about the way that the personal, excuse me, not the personal, but we could talk about the way that the collective unconscious has portrayed these hero archetypes as superhumans in the late recent years, and how that impacts our view of the world, but also shows us the possibilities of what could be the world. I think that's another interest. So let's dive into some interesting things. Join me, follow me. Let me know what types of things this video series, what this vlog, or what this podcast, whatever this is, let me know what kinds of things you would like to hear me talk about. After pensively thinking about it, I don't think that a video of complete silence with me just in front of a microphone not saying anything, I don't think that would work. Don't think that would really catch people's attention. We might try an episode like that, where maybe I look things up on online and I show you what I'm looking up, but I don't say anything. And you just kind of have to follow my trail of thoughts as I look up different images and information. That could be cool. That could be real interesting. In fact, let's try a little bit right now. Alright, so before I get started with my silence, I'm just going to type in some information to look up here. And I'm using Chrome, so Google is going to give some AI overviews of different things that I'm searching. But regardless, let's get started. I'm going to pull up the other screen. I don't know if you heard that buzzer in the background, but that's our timer. Time is up. Well, technically that was the washing machine, or the dryer, actually. So time is up for the clothes that needed to be dry. And in a metaphorical sense, that's what it means for us as well. We've taken this time to look into the possibilities of what I could talk about during these videos. We've taken some time to sit in silence and watch me scroll through information on the internet. We've taken time to learn a little bit about me. Next, let's take some time to learn about you. Go ahead and comment below anything you want. Thanks for checking this out. Have a good one.